Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dale around Yak's Ben, with a fantastic show for you. PvP Season 7 kicks off, more info about PvP automated tournaments, AFK farmers are starting to get dealt with, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow host. He is a moderator over at MMO Champion. With the new PvP season, he is leaving his enemies crying home to mom. With all the slaughtered people in his path, it could be considered a Deadpool 2. Say hello to Jim.
You're getting better with those. You're getting more creative.
I'm so proud that I could work the 2 in there. I was like, I gotta make it sound like
really good.
So, yes.
Hi, everybody.
And he streams over on Twitch, where he answers the age-old question: if an AFK'er is dealt with, but they are not at the keyboard, are they really punished? Say hello to Age.
When they come back, they realize they get punished. Hell yes. Welcome, everybody. Good times ahead of us. Good times.
And you can see his stuff over on Twitch and YouTube at MMO Inks. He is roaming around in World v World, but could it be a death sentence? He is our Canadian Bacon of Guild Wars 2. Say hello to Inks.
Yeah, not so much. The other servers seem to run away from the groups that we have, generally speaking. It's a little frustrating.
You're too good. I'll transfer you to your guys' server, and I'll worsen you up some. It's the least I can do.
You have an exponential effect on people. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Let's stop running Zerker Gear in WVW Night Road. I like that, Zlint. Can we work that?
Wow, that's a long nickname. But let us jump right into it. First up, a quick reminder. We talked about last week about the EU tournament that Unity Gaming Organization was running. Well, this weekend is the NA one, which this one will be this Sunday at around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which, if you are watching this on YouTube, we do put these up at noon Eastern, so roughly if you're just hitting this in about 2 hours, you can definitely check it out. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to Jebro's stream will be in the description. That way you can head on over there, check out some, custom PvP tournaments. But are you guys excited for the NA side after hearing about the EU?
I got to watch a bit of the EU one. It was a well-casted tournament. It was well put together.
Yeah, I think everybody watches it myself.
I think everybody was like, "Yeah, rank 55 is going to win," but I think like there were a few teams in there that did really well, and if we have people that are in, and the more we have people playing, the more we're going to have people getting better. So that's all we need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like on top of that, enticing more people to come in, which could be fresh meat for maybe other games that are big PvPers to, if we're somehow not cutting it. So
I'm just waiting for the first team to beat rank 55. That's all I'm really waiting for.
Well, it was pretty close this time, right?
Yeah. I think it was. I didn't watch all the games, so I can't say. But I think one was like, I want to say 150, 200 points off. But I don't know. I have to go back and watch. Yeah.
But yeah, so we look forward to seeing the NA side. But let us jump into what Arena has put out for this week. This past week we got the season starter. We talked about literally a little bit last week that it was about to come. So how's the first week going? Have you guys jumped in, or have you slaughtered, or have you been slaughtered?
First and foremost, unranked queue is a shit show. just don't queue for unranked. Even if you don't want to play ranked, just play ranked. Your matches will be better. When the season is live, don't play unranked. It's not fun. Ranked queue is weird. I have been having some excessively swingy matches lately. Just last night, I did my 3 for the day to progress my legendary backpack achievements, and we got completely destroyed in the initial team fight on mid. It was on Capricorn, And then we were probably 3-capped for most of the game and got both of the bells that popped up. And I just remember running back and forth between home and mid and then capping bell when it came up. And I'm just like, why is an elementalist getting a rampage shout out from the announcer?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then the next bit, if you're going to queue up for PvP, yelling at your own team is the worst thing you can do, because if you're tilted, you make them tilted, you're just going to lose.
Yeah.
Don't do it. If you
But then
get
you
mad
were
at
right.
PvP,
There are a bunch of horrible players because I made them that way.
You're always going to run in. It's funny, in any competitive environment, you're going to run into that one person who is on the team that is not winning, who is going to think that it's not their fault, it's everybody else's fault around them that they're losing. And that sometimes may be true or may not be true, depending on the circumstance, but you're not helping your team at all by being that person who screams and yells at them and says, thanks for getting me a loss and whatever else, you know?
Yeah. Also, flaming the enemy team can have as much of a negative effect on your own team. So don't do that in map chat either, because that's not great to be either, and both can get you reported. So don't do it.
Sounds like don't be a Charlie Sheen. You're sitting there going, I'm winning, and it's like, sure you are. Yeah, you go play.
And the other thing is, if I'm talking about, things you shouldn't do in PvP, don't AFK. Because if you're worried about losing and you think it's a lost cause when both teams are still sub 150, what the hell? Why did you even queue up for ranked at that point? This was during placement matches that I streamed on Wednesday. Just had a guy this is pointless, and he sat in home. Now, mind you, this was a Revenant that was using a hammer, so I'm not entirely certain what he thought he was going to accomplish. Like, I'm not talking about he was poking at range with a hammer. He was actively trying to maintain just hammer playstyle.
It's a very slow playstyle for PvP.
Yeah.
Is there they had the pip system. Is there commitment pips? Like, it sounds like he was committed to this. I mean, more power to him, but
my only, and somebody asked in chat during the stream, is if AFK'ers lose out, do they still get rewarded? And it's yes, they still get rewarded. I don't know if they get further punishment for being AFK. I don't know if there's a low priority queue like there is in Dota 2. I don't know if there's chat ban, time ban, low priority games played, time played. I don't know. I don't know what the banning system is, because they're not particularly open about it.
Yeah. I feel like
I've definitely done it. Unfortunately, I've done the AFK thing towards the end of a match. If we're losing by a lot, it's it's 400 to 100. I'm kind of done with it. Yeah.
That's fair.
If it gets to the point where it's a total blowout, then it's a total blowout. But then by then, most of the teams sort of AFKs. There's but I've seen people, and this is something I would never do, but I've seen people get one push on the initial play of the game and then just instantly give up. And that's just ridiculous. Happens, yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, the matches literally just start out. You can come back. You can come back from a lot, actually, but to give up that fast and that easily is terrible. But people do it.
Yeah. No, the guy I was talking about, he was still talking in chat, flaming. I asked him, if you're just going to AFK, why did you queue up for ranked? And he's like, I actually expected to get a team when I queued up. And it's just like, so the guy that queues with me, Chevron, he's part of our guild. We have this thing where he goes home, he calls it out whenever the game starts. And number one point of advice, always figure out who's going to go cap home. It's a really Make sure that everybody knows where they're going. Actually, if you're going to go push far, if you're a thief or a ranger or someone skirmishy and you're going to go poke at the one person that's capping far for the enemy team, say something in chat so that, you know, the people going mid know, okay, there's going to be 3 of us, 4 of us, who's all going. That's the one kind of, like, if you never talk in chat again after the start of the match, do that.
Right.
Because you'd be surprised how much a good start to the match can help your team.
Wait, you're saying communication could actually be beneficial?
It's a shocking thing, I know.
Good communication. You should, yeah.
Oh, just not any. I'm going to our home and just go somewhere else. Like, well, that you just.
Yeah, I feel like Arena needs. I've said this for a while, but they need to like improve their reporting system in terms of the actual reporting system of where I feel like they need to add like a text box where we could detail stuff.
Comments. Yeah.
Like at the very least, that should be there. I mean, like support tickets have that in the game, so why not just the report feature as well? And the other thing is, I feel like they should do what League does if someone gets handled, like they just mail us in game to make us like understand, like, hey, this person you reported got dealt with. So thank you for helping us deal with it. It's like that would help us as players know that that our reports are working to some extent. That'd be really nice. I don't know if I should transition that into my story, but
go for it.
All right. I have to preface this by saying this may or may not be water, but okay. So the first of all, I have to say this right now. If I hear Thief Get Far one more time, I will do something I will regret probably. But the very reason I don't go far is because either someone is there, someone is going to go back to it in time, or you need help in mid because you're failing mid. Those are the reasons. Anyway, transition story. So this first story I have to tell you is there was a Forest of Niflheim match, so of course there's Beast there. And there's this one person who's constantly telling me to go get Beast. And I'm like, it's not my job to get Beast. It's my job to secure Beast if you're going for it or if the enemy team's going for it. But
it's not great at fighting.
Yeah, and we were always losing caps because 2 people would always go for Beast when you really should just hold the 2 cap in that sense. And there was a good thief on the enemy team, and 2 people were going for Beast. I'm like, say, yo, kill this thief first, or make sure this thief is gone. And then the thief just spikes it. I'm like, okay. And that was it. And then the other one was where I had this raging Ellie who was raging primarily at me because I wasn't helping him because he was probably dying a lot. And I tried to plus all of my team in that game, but it was like either you're okay you're okay on home, or there was a 1v3 mid and I can't do anything about that. So I stayed mostly far. And we were winning, by the way. We were winning and this Ellie was raging. And then it got turned around on us. So I decided, you know what? I'll go for Lord Rush. This was on full fire. I'll bait people in so that people can secure caps. And then we were still ahead by like 10 points. And all we needed was 1 cap to win, right? So we got decapped at home. We had mid, and they had their home. So I decapped far, but the engineer was coming back. We were at 490, and then this Ellie's yelling at me, don't 1v1 the NG. It's like, no, if they get this cap, they win the game. So I'm kiting as much as humanly possible on far in hopes that the rest of my team is at mid, just holding it, and then I'm not looking at the score. I'm just focused on surviving, and then I just get out of there when I can't do anymore. I'm like coming to mid. It's like, all right, I'm here. So why is this decapped? Why? And we lost the game.
Wait, they couldn't stay on the point?
Yeah. Here's the kicker: the Elementalist was the one who lost the decap for us. So all this time.
It's one of those situations where if you were on TeamSpeak with one another, stuff like that just wouldn't happen, right? Because you'd be communicating what you were doing, and it can be difficult. First of all, some people just won't listen to whatever you type anyway. They're just going to ignore it if they even have chat on, which some people play with it disabled.
Yeah.
Secondly, like you know, if you're trying to kite the NG and stop him from capping and all this stuff, you don't have time to really type out what you're doing. You know,
Exactly.
the other player should just kind of understand what's going on. They should know we can't lose mid, and if the Ellie needs support, he needs to say so, and other people need to come support him, right? But
Yeah, it really comes down to players not understanding the overall what you need to do in a match when things are in a certain scenario. So in that certain scenario I was talking about, all we needed was the one cap in mid and just not let them have a cap or one cap, and we would win the game because they capped our home. So I couldn't let them cap far, otherwise we lose. So and that person didn't understand that, and he got me so triggered. That's the first time I actually told him to shut the F up because like I just could not take it anymore. And then I left the game. He's like, if I stay any longer, it's just gonna get worse. So that was the end of the game, by the way. I told him that, but it's like you know what? He's like, I have to go back to muting people again. It's just gone to that point, and it's very irritating. I've never had that in a long time. So it's kind of weird, but yeah.
So, last statement on this before we actually get into talking about the automated tournament stuff. Sorry, Deo, I see you chomping at the bit wanting to continue.
Nah, I just had one question for Age.
Oh boy.
What's up?
Do you when you stream these, do you have like song requests on?
No.
Oh,
What song would you have requested, Deo?
I would have so gave you some Celine Dion, you know, some near, far, wherever you.
Oh man.
Sorry, that's all I was hearing in my head when you were talking about going far and. But anyway,
I probably would have needed that, but yeah.
Let's just get some Elmo. Near? Or no, it was Grover. Near? Far.
Yeah.
But one of the things, and what rank are you at right now, Age?
I'm gold 3 right now. Forgot what though.
Okay, so I'm in silver 3, gold 1. Just kind of wiggling in there. For whatever reason, right around the middle of any PvP bracket system, there seems to be this larger group of people that think they're super pro, but they're either mediocre or terrible and are where they are because of luck.
Yeah.
And I've seen this brought up in League of Legends, in Dota 2. I'm pretty sure it probably happens in Smite, and a lot of the other competitive PvP games. The concept of what you were doing on FAR, kiting the NG, making sure he didn't get the cap on FAR, that's something that Dunning-Kruger effect, yeah. Thank you, Zlint. I appreciate it. That's something that if you actually pay attention in PvP to like thieves kiting you or watching thieves on your own team do, you kind of get an idea for what every profession in the game can do. Base rangers with Condi and traps can lock down a point. Dragon hunters can lock down a point. Engineers can lock down a point. Thieves are really good at pushing and decapping and doing +1s. Elementalists are great support. Druids are great support. They're even great support in WW. I still love the classics. I still support you.
It's tough.
It's one of those things where you have to pay attention if you're playing ranked. You have to always try and learn. You don't want to blame other people for what they're doing. You always want to try to improve your own play. The second you say, I did nothing wrong, then you can blame your allies. But very often, you're gonna find if you're accurately critical about yourself, you're going to find something you should have done better. So
The hardest thing is being accurately critical, because you saying like I did nothing wrong, I'm sure a lot of people just jump to that conclusion.
Yeah.
But
so it's something fighting your own confirmation bias of your own actions is a really difficult thing. So
now with season 7, they introduced another tier of llama, didn't they?
Yeah.
They could get like here's the picture of it, the princess
Hey,
llama.
Inks, I want to hear Inks' comments about the llama.
oh god.
Well, I mean, look at the damn thing. I get it, right? It's a cool theme. I haven't even finished with the first llama. Then they have what, 4 llamas now?
Yeah, 4 llamas.
And the llamas have so many tiers that, like, I guess unless you're a legend or something, you're not likely to complete any of these in any reasonable time. Unless, I mean, it's fine. It's a long-term reward. But I think they've added 3 new llamas this year alone.
Regular llama, black llama, red or prince llama, lavish llama or something like that.
Whatever the last one was, and now this one.
And then this one.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. They're gonna keep taking. I mean, this is the thing for this is the thing for PvP for whatever reason. I don't know where the llama thing came from. Fascination with ArenaNet employees, I guess. But they're just gonna dress the llama up in different, outfits. Kind of like they did with the dog. Give it a cowboy hat and a bandana. You're done. Llama, put a princess hat and a dress on it with a necklace. Boom.
Oh boy.
In some ways, it's smart, right? Because you'll start out with a base llama, then you'll add a hat, then you'll add a necklace, then you'll add a dress, or however the progression goes. But I don't know. I really do wonder how many people are like, yes, a new llama. I have a goal this season. You know what I mean? It's one of those side rewards. It's like, okay, cool. I got another llama to add to my mini collection. This is something I'll work on the side. But
Somebody clip that, GIF it, and put a caption on it. Yes, another llama.
I mean, I don't know. It's cool. I don't have anything against it, but
I think it's more the fact that minis are still a kind of meh reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's just that you need so many of them to like climb the llama ranks to like get the different ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it like 4 of the first tier make the second tier, then 4 of the second tier make the third tier, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So
And
it exponentially, gets bigger and bigger.
Like I did this with the fractal golems, and I did this with the winter Skritt and the snowball. You just need so many of them. I don't know. And I guess I just, I don't PvP enough that it really matters. It's cool, I guess, that they keep adding them. ArenaNet knows their own metrics better than any of us ever will. So they must know that, like, they needed another llama this season for a reward to add something, right? Because last season was really bad for rewards. And this does give them another thing that they can put into the automated tournament chest. So
yeah,
it's like, hey, you lost, but here's a llama. You can pick whatever llama you want.
Yay. But
Legendary llamas, so you can change their stats.
Well,
I like what you're talking
was
about.
it Silver Waste where we were hunting down llamas, or Dry Top or whatever? And isn't there a legendary llama that you have to?
There's a legendary llama.
It's already in the game. You just need to implement it.
This llama thing kind of came out of nowhere, and like ArenaNet like sunk their claws into it. And llamas are super important to them, and they adopted a llama or something at one point. And
I'm still waiting for my llama guild rush, by the way.
Though
It's been like
I thought it happened right around. Wasn't there a news story where a llama broke out of a zoo or something? Like there was like a llama that just running down like this.
Yeah,
like,
it was
rural
all
streets or
around that
something.
time. Yeah,
And
it was all around that time.
Yeah, it became like a meme for 3 seconds, and then they really grasped onto it. But
I see.
There was like a thing too where so when NA was trying to kill Triple Trouble Worm for the first time, I don't even know how it started, but somebody started posting. This is before Discord was a thing. Actually, we were on TeamSpeak, and people started posting pictures of red pandas on NA, and somehow red pandas became an NA meme. And over on EU, they were posting pictures of moose, and moose became a meme for EU. For the people who were trying to kill Triple Trouble Worm, that is. And so they released minis of a moose and a red panda. This was like forever ago.
Oh,
and I don't
yeah.
think most people understand where red panda and moose came from, but they were literal memes with this small niche group of players who were trying to kill these bosses, world bosses. And they just, I don't even know where it came from. Somebody just started posting pictures of red panda and a moose, and it just became this weird thing. And then llamas came along, and everybody forgot about the moose and the red panda. But I don't know. It's one of these things. Like years from now, people will look back and be like, "What was the fascination with the llama?"
I don't know. It's odd, but
that's the thing now for PvP. That's the reward. You get whatever the other rewards are working on, plus a new llama. So, hey, 3 or 4 llamas a year, you'll have a lot of minis to work towards.
yeah. Well, you know, let's save the llama for your mama. Yeah. I can't believe I did that.
Yeah,
I can.
Yeah, I just
Waiting to use that one.
I was
Yeah, it
like,
was.
what does that mean?
I don't nothing. Oh boy, I am sorry, chat. Oh,
Like a sexual innuendo or something?
Let's not go there. Ever.
God, I hope not. I didn't. Was not the plan. Anyway, automated tournaments. Ugh, there's no way of getting away from that. But yeah. So we talked about it. We finally have gotten a blog post and kind of a Q&A on it. So, why are automated tournaments, and why should we care?
Get stuff for being good at PvP.
Actual support for the PvP game mode, aside from wonky balance patches.
Have good matches.
On the bright side, poison thieves are not nearly the problem I thought they would be.
Not in PvP. But I could go into that after show because that'll take too long. But yeah, 3 daily tournaments when you can get qualifying points, which allows you to get access into the monthly tournaments, and you can get reward. Everyone gets some rewards for some respect. So for qualifying for daily, you get at least 5 qualifying points, I believe it was, and up to monthlies where you could earn like 500 gold, and that's per person. You could earn mystic coins and all that stuff, but
and llamas
and
Llamas, llama bucks.
But the thing that interests me the most about this is that there's nothing that's kind of PvP specific as a reward. Like there's nothing that'll make a person go, this is the only place I can get this type of deal.
Well, weren't they supposed to give out the super heroic PvP armor? I forget what it's called. That you only got from tournaments.
Well, I was gonna say they're, I think, keeping that to monthly tournaments, which
Right, well, that's a monthly reward, right?
Yeah, you use
Right,
the
so you
automated
gotta win a
tournaments to
monthly
gain points, or maybe even pips. Who knows? That's what they like to use now towards the qualifying for the monthly tournament. So yeah, in the monthly tournament, that's where you could possibly get the, I think it's Glorious Heroes armor, and also Mystic Coins, like you said, llamas. God.
No, each player gets it. Is it the team or is it each player? It's each player, isn't it?
Each player, yeah.
Player gets like 500 gold, 100 mystical. It's.
The,
I mean,
the 500 gold, I think, alone is enticing enough. And then you throw up the mystic coins, the ascended armor. It's
like my only issue is I have no chance in Tyria to ever win one of these monthly tournaments. It's just never going to happen. You know, I'm too much of a realist to realize that I have no chance in hell of ever winning this thing, right? The reward is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to try, you know, a couple of daily tournaments, automated tournaments here and there when it comes out, just to see what it's all about. But I am not nearly good enough of a PvP player, and I don't know enough people who play PvP to form a team that would ever have a shot at winning a monthly. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's okay. Just make somebody else put Deo on their team. You can win at least one match.
Yeah, I'll have to pace. And I kind of wonder, right? Is it ever going to come to the point where some team is good enough to four-man and carry one person and sell that spot? Because if they are, it will 100% happen.
If it happens, I'm fairly certain that it will be dealt with quickly. I don't foresee, and the other thing is, I don't foresee a team being able to pull that off.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe
because
not.
I don't see that. I don't see that team getting to first place, I should say. Because, I mean, you talk about selling slots in a raid. You can get good enough at a raid to, what was it? There was a 4 or 5 man Gorseval a while ago. It's you can get there. It's not that, but that's the thing, is the raid mechanics never change. When you're playing against people, sure, there are strategies that you can assume they're going to use, but you can never really know what the specifics are ahead of time. Like, you have to learn that during the fight. When I see another elementalist in the game, I can see what their weapons are. I don't know what kind of utilities they're running. I don't know what their traits are. I don't know what kind of strategy they're doing.
It'll be interesting to see, because I don't know. I think with the players who are kind of left in the game, rank 55 is one of the best teams, if not the best team currently out there that still exists.
Mm-hmm.
So if rank 55 is interested in automated tournaments, which they may very well be, at least at first, then at least on the EU side, they're going to sweep those prizes. More than likely, anyway.
There you go, Arena. You got to put that stipulation in there for them. They have to play with me on their team. I'll even negate rewards, because that they probably would still be able to carry me. So I'll negate rewards, but I'll try my darndest to be who I am. Bad at PvP.
I don't know. I guess there's nothing you can really do about it, I guess, but I'm a little concerned that it's going to be the same people winning again and again and again, and that's going to turn other potential players off to some extent. Like, there's no solution. You can't stop them from playing. If they want to play and they want to win those rewards, I mean, they could lose, but you know, the deck is sort of stacked in their favor to begin with, for now anyway, unless it draws back a lot more of the pros who have recently left the scene due to lack of pro season and stuff.
So Chad has an interesting idea. I wonder what you guys would think is, what if, like, after you compete and, like, maybe win, you're, like, not allowed to compete in the next one or something? I mean,
and make the player base smaller. I don't do that, right?
I don't agree with that. Maybe like, to an extent, like if they win 10 monthlies in a, like if they won a bunch of monthlies in a row, maybe.
Yeah, I'll say, what's the number? Because 10 monthlies, that's almost like, you're basically like, do you want it to be a year where no one wins besides them?
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, to be quite honest, if I had the skill of Sinjernir and Helseth and those guys who team up for these things, I would make it my personal, this is going to sound really rude and crass, but I would make it my personal goal to win every monthly tournament for a year straight. Just play the very best I can for a year straight, win every month, and then sort of like, okay, we retire or whatever. Like, I don't know, you know, but just to make a point that, like, unless
Let me put
Unless
on,
I'm hyping them up too much, but I
let
don't
me
know.
put on my internet voice. You fucking try hard.
But yeah,
I would try hard for a year and try to not let anyone else win.
yeah. I mean, because I think they're gonna the rank 55 team that was their last in the UGO tournament. They're probably gonna stick together. I think they're interested in the automated tournaments, and if they play, they're probably going to win it until someone forms a team to actually stop them. So, I think that's their.
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
goal.
I missed it. You said Helseth put out a video that he will win every tournament. And I love that about Helseth, right? I love that he's that type of person who wants to do that. And I don't know the other members very well, but I know Sinjinir loves playing Guild Wars 2. Like, he loves playing World vs. World. He loves playing PvP. So he'll play just because he loves playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know the other members very well, but it sounds like Helseth is at least committed to trying to do this. So
I'll
that's
say,
kind of interesting.
how many total players do they have in their team? I'm sure they have like alternates instead of just the base
I have no
5.
idea.
You're not allowed alternates in automated tournaments.
Well, no, I meant
Well, he's
like
talking
when
about
they.
the actual rank 55 team.
Yeah.
Oh, so this current team is Helseth, Engineer, Misha, Zan, and Snowball, I believe.
That's
So
just
that
5.
is-
Because I was gonna say, Arena, you got an opportunity here. What was it like? UFC had that thing where they had like 2 people that always had a rivalry that trained people, like literally have each of the members train a group and they have their own tournament. Like they got ArenaNet TV. Come on, or like
Now,
come on, bring that
My-
back.
my thought here is if you really wanted to go real hard on keeping the monthly tournaments a little more randomized and more interesting, is you enter and there is a draft. Captains are chosen. Captains get to draft from the remaining pool of people.
Hmm.
That would make sure that the teams are different, but I don't know what kind of programming support that would require.
I see. I think the whole reason of having these automated tournaments was so that 5 people who want to play together as a team
Right.
would go in and play. The more I think about it, it's more like it sucks to say, but it's like if like rank 55 want to play together and win every monthly for a year, they're allowed to do that.
Yep. By the design of the system, that's basically what they're being incentivized to do.
And
Yeah,
it's
transfer to NA.
it's weird to say, but it's just like that's just what it's probably just going to happen, and I don't know if that'll make people want to compete harder in order to beat them, or make a drop off. That's just going to be the interesting thing that's going to happen in the next couple of months.
Yeah, because
But
also got to look at these are players of the game. Like I can understand these like somehow ended up being like ArenaNet devs, not using hacks or anything, but maybe they really enjoy their game. It's like, hey, maybe let people. But no, these are people that picked up the game, are exceptionally well at it. Can we really fault them for playing
I honestly
a
don't think
game
you
that they
can.
like? Yeah,
No,
it's,
of course not. Of course not.
Yeah.
It also depends what second place and stuff like that is. It depends what the trickle-down prizes are as well, because if those trickle-down prizes for second place and so on are good enough, that will still incentivize people to play against them to, like, hey, even if we lose to 55, who cares, because we still get this, right? And on NA, like 50, like I don't know, I apologize, I don't really know the NA teams very well anymore since Abjurd kind of sort of stopped playing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the NA scene looks like at all. That'll be a completely different monster from the way EU will look.
I actually saw it was Wakey, I saw Nos, and I saw Toker. They were all playing PvP this week.
So at least 3 well-known pro players
yeah.
that will probably team up.
I don't know if they'll go into automated tournaments, but we'll see what happens.
Toker loves playing the game too, so I imagine that he'll be totally into it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Also, I saw chat saying it earlier. Another thing, like they said early at the beginning of the month, they were gonna also do a new PvP lobby, and they gave us a blog post about more stuff in that, which they did say it's going to access the same key features like training golems, merchants, bankers, stuff like that. But they've also added stuff like a free-for-all brawling arena. They said hidden surprises, also champions rest, and which I will hit on each of these. And they, in the blog post, they did have a picture of also people that win these tournaments, the monthly tournaments, are actually immortalized in statues, which they've already said you cannot be naked for them. So, sorry.
The Asura statues are off center. Read it. Come on. Like, every other statue is centered or looks centered from this picture. The Asura one is clearly off centered.
The second statues, I saw his eyes start twitching.
I looked, as soon as I seen this picture, I'm like, why is the Asura one pushed? This is the same thing with the stupid backpacks. Why is it pushed forward?
Oh, wow.
In the case of the backpacks, it's pushed down to like their waist and not their back. Like, why do you do that? No,
it's the Asuras are closer to the front of the pedestal. I understand what you mean by that.
Yeah, they're not.
Their shadow is centered. You can even see on the picture here, at least for the one closest to the camera, like
the light source that's casting the shadow is like up above it. It's not coming from the fire.
Well, it all looks like they're using the salute animation. Do the Asuran animation step forward when they salute? Because maybe that's the issue.
I don't know.
That's the only thing I could think of, but
center it. It's such a nitpicky thing that matters to nobody but me. But center the damn statue. Oh my gosh.
There's gonna be a patch note: is the Asura statues been centered? You're welcome, MMO Inks.
Arbiter says they don't step forward.
Okay.
I didn't think they did, but
you have to find your center.
Stop. Clearly, center the statue.
But yeah, let's talk about this new PvP lobby. Like, first off, this free-for-all brawling arena. That's gonna be interesting.
So
Thank you. That's cool.
That concerns me because the free-for-all brawling arena is supposed to be the 2v2 arena, right?
No, this is like the 2v2 arena is a custom PvP map that you can play on in custom arenas. This is going to be in the PvP lobby where people can just go in and kill people. Like,
all right, but from what they had said, that they said that it could fit 10 people comfortably, but the size of the area, I wish I had clipped that from the dev. The size of the area sounds small for the brawling area. It doesn't sound like it would fit 10 people comfortably, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
If they base off the guild arena, then I'll say yes. But but we'll see what happens.
Mofongo Jones, we're getting there because I have a few things.
And I mean,
to say
yeah, it's kind of linked with it. Which, I mean, hidden surprises. We really don't know what that entails.
I mean, I figure jumping puzzles. So if some people don't know, in the map that's currently there, you guys should go look for this before it goes away on the 20th. But if the far side of the map, where there's golems for you to fight, if you go behind that, there's a little alcove. There's a little room with a skeleton sitting by like a table or something. Doesn't do anything in game. It's just a cool little like hidden area.
Huh.
So I wonder if there's going to be some of those hidden areas, or maybe they'll add. It would be kind of cool if they would add either a jumping puzzle or whatever in there. I know that's a very PvE thing, but they said that they wanted to add some stuff in there for when you're waiting for a match or something, right? So I could see them adding little bits of flavor like that to.
Ozzy has a point. More llamas.
To the area, more llamas, exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's like jumping puzzle or hidden coins or something. I don't know.
Oh god, a hidden MacGuffin find achievement in the PvP lobby.
Right.
On the bright side, you'd actually have the time to explore and find stuff there.
Mm. So yeah, let's talk about, like we said, the free-for-all brawling arena, the Champions Rest, which is reserved for these top players of PvP from the monthlies and the PvP league seasons. It's going to be a lounge just for them, which will have access to a Mystic Forge, crafting, all the crafting stations, a bank, trading post. Kind of sounds like those
The Royal Terrace Pass.
yeah, the Royal Terrace Pass and those different places like that, but PvP exclusive. But interestingly, and this is why it's linked to the free-for-all brawling arena, a special console to add more danger to the fighting pit.
I would like to start with everything before the traps. Just put the Mystic Forge back in the PvP lobby. It was there before they did the
special area. The special area will probably have one.
Well, they said it in the blog post that it will have one. Like, it is guaranteed to have one. Second, crafting stations. People I know that just flat out play PvP don't give a single fuck about crafting, which was one of the major backlashes against the Grandmaster crafting marks with the Ascended purchasing system. Is, I don't want to craft. I'm not playing PvE. I don't need the gear. Why would a PvP player ever level anything to 500? Ever.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I don't understand this whole, like, elite lounge. It doesn't make sense to me. Because, once again, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, hey, the top 250 people get titles. Yay. Oh, look, you have access to stuff that's the portal through Lion's Arch away. I don't, and Ozzy, I don't agree that crafting should be deleted from the game. It has its problems, but crafting is kind of an entrenched establishment in the MMO genre, so I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. But I don't comprehend this push to put crafting into PvP. It doesn't fit in PvP because you don't need stats in PvP.
Yeah. They did put Grandmaster marks in some of the end chests, so you could get 3 after you finish Byzantium, but I feel like they should add 1 every time you finish Byzantium. That would honestly solve that problem with the craft, because as Mathan said, you don't need to craft if you're a pure PvP player, and the whole point of Ascended gear in PvP was to incentivize PvP players to go into other modes, but if you're going to force them to craft and do all this in order to do that, then they're not going to, so it's less incentive.
But the other thing with the traps, I think that should be available to everybody. Like, I don't. So, for example, there's an amusement park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania called Kennywood. There is a rapids ride in it, and they removed them, sadly, but there used to be sidewalks that would go through the rapids, and there were places where there were water guns, where you could shoot people with the water guns as they went around the track, because there were points, like there were waterfalls over the rapids, there were water guns in the water. You weren't guaranteed to get wet in this water ride. But if people were manning the guns, you'd be like, that person's dry, soak them. So I get the draw of putting these traps in. Like, it just sounds like it would be super fun to me.
I can't imagine, Jim, why they removed those water guns from that water ride.
Oh, it was great. I mean, I would never.
It was amazing, Deo. Just admit it.
Oh, I loved it.
I don't know that I like.
Yeah, we'll get on to that afterwards.
I don't know if I like them adding traps and stuff to this brawling area. I mean, I guess it's just for fun or whatever, but
they're legitimately adding the guild arena in PvP.
Right, but that's, I feel like this is the area you would go to have, like, I mean, it is a free-for-all arena, right? But I feel like this is where players will try to go to do 1v1s and stuff when on their downtime and whatnot. And you can just kind of troll them if you want to be a jerk. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Trap as they fall into a pit of lavas.
Somebody typoed lava. You fall into a pit of llama.
Bit of llamas.
Molten llamas.
Yeah.
There was also a follow-up Q&A from for the automated tournaments from game designer Ben Pong Long Tom. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, what things have you guys kind of picked out of there? That
He explained a lot about qualifying points and the limit and how many teams that they're going to do it first. There was a question about, are the rewards really enough when the old tournaments used to give the equivalent of like 570 gold a week? The new ones give about 150 gold a week when you break down the liquid gold reward portion of it. So, in a lot of it, he basically said, look, this is sort of a work in progress. We're going to launch with it. We're going to let it run for a while, and we're going to make adjustments as we go along. If we need to adjust the rewards, we will. If we need to adjust how you get qualifying points or how many teams can qualify and so on, then they'll adjust those points. But
yeah, I just want to say thank you for actual communication on this, because there were a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm glad that they're actually communicating some of the details about this before it actually comes out, because I don't want to be surprised or anything. I wish they kind of communicate these things, like keep up this type of communication. You don't have to give away everything if you don't want to, but like just the some of the details that are very important, like the actual rewards of what are your plans for that, because things like that, I feel like.
I think for PvP, it's very like in PvE. Okay, story steps and there's certain things in PvE that you can't talk about, don't want to talk about, or you don't want to ruin for players. But this is PvP. You're not ruining anything by telling people how the automated tournaments are going to work, or how the rewards are going to work, or what they will be. Like in those circumstances, I'm happy that he did this sort of Q&A and answered a lot of questions. I think that's fantastic. For game modes,
go ahead.
For competitive game modes, they really should just be like as clear and transparent as possible. You're not spoiling anything for anybody, right? They want to know what the rewards and stuff are.
This is the kind of high-level stuff that I always talk about, that I would love to see more of from ArenaNet. Like, it's some of it's specifics. It's not all specifics. It's, we understand that there are potential issues with certain things, and we are monitoring them. Just honestly, some kind of communication that, yes, we see this as a problem and we are trying to look into how to fix it. So if there was like class imbalance or something else where I'd like to see that, it's like, yes, we're trying to go in this direction for something. And that this is a perfect example of what all of that should be themed around.
Yeah, hopefully we, what is it? Is it next week where we get our hands on the?
Yes.
So,
yes, it is.
That'll be fun. Maybe have to definitely check out the free-for-all brawl arena, see who's getting slaughtered. Accidentally fallen probably a couple times. But let us talk about some AFK farmers. I mean, we talked about it a lot. What was it, last week when they dealt with the... Was it last week? I think so. When we dealt with the kind of turret farming and some of the new zones, and we talked about how, they need to really step up their game on all of AFK'ers, which it seems like they're really making their attempt on it. So, basically they were dealing with the dust farmers, which we talked about. I think it was an ore. Also the Bitterfrost Necros. So, I'm curious, how did they deal with these AFK farmers? Did they ask them politely to be like, hey, when you come back, could you stop? Or
They actually, I think it was the Bitterfrost Necros, they actually teleported them to different areas without them knowing. The one I read about was that this person started the AFK farm, and then he got teleported, and then he tried to talk in chat, and nothing happened. So he tried to go back, and then he went to go do his math homework. Came back 5 minutes later and saw he got banned for 1,152 hours.
Right, which Chris Cleary had said is like a third infraction time amount. So he had apparently been infracted 2 other times before this one, which he says he wasn't. The time kind of says different on that one, though. So I don't know.
I like how he played.
Like, I don't know. I read these things and I want to believe the person writing it. But we've seen so many times where they're like, ArenaNet has, unjustly banned me or something. And then ArenaNet spits back, yeah, but you did this 4,000 times. It's not really unjust. They don't do that so much anymore, which I really miss, because that used to be back in 2012. That was fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
Like, ArenaNet, I only did it one time. Yeah, I only did it one time, ArenaNet. What are you doing? Well, actually, you did it 36,724 times, but
in the span of that one time, I did it. That was one incident, like
over 6 months.
Yeah.
But anyway, this guy says that he tried to talk to the dev, the invisible dev or whatever it was, and got no response. And if that's true, that's a bit of a shame, right? Because he's semi-AFK and whatever. But it's interesting that they're starting to be more proactive about these things than they were in the past, which I've definitely criticized them on big time. Because you can't, I don't know. AFK farmers don't bother me. I've done it. I was doing the NG farm up until recently. It doesn't bother me. But when ArenaNet makes a big public statement about how it hurts the game, how it hurts retention of players, and how it hurts new players, and so on, then you can't just nerf one area and not nerf the others. I feel like you can't, half-heartedly do things.
They're listening to you, Inks. They're listening to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sure they're listening to me, all right. But I don't know. It's interesting. They're like teleporting them away, and then the Necros will run back. And
yeah, I kind of agree with chat. Bring Doom back. I love those. I've never seen one. Actually, maybe I have seen one once, but that was a long time ago in the original Guild Wars.
Problem is, people the way the system works, people are probably like, "Is this a new event they've added?" Oh no, someone just kidding.
Yes, Kill Doom. It's a new boss. It's a new.
The current events team's back. Where'd that guy go?
Permabanned, account deleted. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I just want to see hordes of people circle around. It's like, what's going on? And this person's just the one person is getting axed, and like, all feels bad, man.
And for the record, I don't want these people to get banned. I just want ArenaNet to slap their hand and say, "Don't do that," and hopefully they stop doing it.
It's one of those things where
if it's their prerogative to do so, right?
The thing that kind of annoys me is that you'll have people who AFK farm, and then they also complain about the state of the market on the trading post. Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, technically AFK farming is something that hurts the stability of the trading post, because it's not something that that's not something any game dev intends. So if your AFK farming artificially bloats the availability of a given item,
right,
that causes problems with supply and demand, and then they're like, oh, well, there's not a problem with this. Actually, this drop rate's too high. We need to nerf this. There's too much of this in the economy. So they nerf a drop rate that never should have been nerfed.
Yeah, yeah. And for like the NG farm, like tier 6, you really did not earn that much from the NG farm. It wasn't a great, like, just go to silver if you're really going to play the game. And I know it's AFK and there's a difference there, but like, you're not earning a whole lot, and I can't imagine Necros are probably earning even less than the engineers were earning. So like, these people are earning minuscule amounts. The difference is that they're doing their math homework, like this kid was, or they're AFK, they're making dinner, they're doing whatever. Why the game is just, you're generating some amount of materials, I guess. But
please tell me his other 2 offenses. He was like, that was like history homework, and the other one I had a science project.
For the record, personally, I don't think it's that big a deal. It really doesn't annoy me that much. But, you know, ArenaNet disagrees with that and has said it is a bad thing. But and if you're going to make that kind of statement, if you're going to draw a line in the sand and say this is bad, then you've got to back it up with action. You can't just say it and not do anything. So.
And Netco from chat, I am not surprised that supposedly the reason they removed Doom was GMs were too excited to use the ability to actually see it, because honestly I've heard that those things, like people made accounts in Guild Wars 1 to run up and be like, ban me, and started like saying horrible things so they could see it.
I would totally make a free account to have someone ban me just so I could see it.
Oh yeah, it's even worse now that we have the free account system. So yeah, that as much as I'd like to see it,
fair.
Damn.
Oh.
My only fear with that is sometimes they ban via IP, and then I'd have to change my IP, which is not a big deal. But yeah, I can call my provider and just have them change my IP. They do it anyway once a month, so.
I also want to point out, like, one of the other Reddit tweets about the farming thing is like someone screen capped Chris Clary and Bitterfrost talking with people, and one person legitimately walked up to a farm, walked up to some berries and started auto farming right in front of him. Like, you have balls.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's really kind of surprising what people think they can get away. And it's not like you notice the ArenaNet tag when you're walking through a group. It's bright red amongst a sea of green names. There was somebody there. There was an ArenaNet tag during 0 to Hero this past Wednesday. You notice it. I
haven't seen one against Jade Kari yet, which makes me sad because I really want that hidden achievement. But anyway.
That's amazing. I could just see someone like, ArenaNet's like, don't touch this plant. Someone's like, looks at him, looks at the plant, looks at him. While they're looking at him, like slowly extends their arm out, like.
I don't have a problem with AFK farming people as long as like it's not hurting anyone's gameplay, right? So for people who AFK on Silver Waste for Vine Wrath, is that it? Vine Wrath?
Yeah.
The last event, it's like I hate people do that. It's like, come on, help us like defend this golem thing. Don't AFK and then just wait for the thing to open. Like, come on.
Yep.
Those are the AFKs I hate. If it's AFK like in Lake Doric, where it's like outside the realm of like not affecting anyone's gameplay, it's like that's fine with me. But again, like King said, if Arena has a problem with that, then yeah.
If they really wanted to fix this in a meaningful way, they just need to do something about the minions and turrets and stuff like that. Those are the things that are allowing them to AFK farm in the first place. That being said, some players are extremely crafty in how they do it. I've seen engineers parked in the weirdest spots with turrets to hit spawns as soon as they pop, like on top of the icicles or on top of like the stalagmites that pop out. And I mean, you can run around teleporting these people, but who has that kind of free time at ArenaNet, really? Like, hire me. I'll work for minimum wage to teleport people and ban them.
What are your qualifications, Inks? I like to delete things.
We were talking
that is a good point.
We were talking about this drive to be lazy before you hopped on earlier, specifically with the WW system, with the outnumbered pips, but I don't know if I want to get into that while we still have a few other things to do. So I was kind of hoping to save that for the after show.
Yeah.
But yeah, any final thoughts on AFK farmers? I mean,
as long as they continue to do something about it.
Yeah.
I really don't have a problem with AFK farming. I don't necessarily agree with everything that Chris said in that Reddit post about how damaging it is and stuff. But they've made that statement. They've drawn a line in the sand there. And so if you're going to do that, then I want to see them follow up with, I want to see them follow up with action to their words. I'm not saying that right, but you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all the AFK farmers can just play the game and start silver waste trains again and have them more active, and we could all get loot together.
Oh, such a utopia, Age. Such a utopia. It's beautiful.
He's so optimistic.
Oh, this next
I
topic.
mean, World vs. World is mostly a silver waste farm most of the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
This next topic, we're getting phishing. I guess not quite. It's the PH kind of phishing. Darn. Sorry, everybody. But apparently, there's been an increase in phishing attempts, which for people that aren't, I guess, savvy, it's basically someone either sending an email or some kind of notification saying, "Here, go to this place to something's wrong with your account, and I'm a GM apparently." Or they state they're, someone official from ArenaNet, and they tell you to go to this link or go to this, website and, reset your password to protect. And basically they're taking your account information. And so, but Gail Gray recently kind of just brought up a couple other things, they kind of the same things you generally hear about in other games and here in the past. But she recommended you should secure your account through SMS or mobile authentication, which honestly, I think do they still offer the thing if you authenticate with the Google Authenticator? Yeah, you get the dragon mini pet. So who wants a llama when you could get a dragon?
I somehow I think Inks was there because I teased him about it, but I got that dragon just randomly. I forgot how. It was during
one?
No, the Mystic Dragon one. That was exclusive.
Oh yeah, right. The one for securing your account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's how I got it. I don't remember, but yeah, I got it and I told everyone about it, and then everyone started getting it because it was a free mini. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean,
it was Matt. It was Matt that was teasing, right?
Yeah. You can get a free mini for just securing your account, which really you should secure your account anyway. So
yes, the noodle. I like Mofongo Jones's
noodle dragon.
Yes,
that's accurate.
And like we said with the idea of the phishing attempts, that she also did say, they won't send you an in-game mail telling you to visit a website or secure an account or avoid an account termination. They're not going to say that.
Don't send gold to Vabby princes. They're not real.
Yet.
Don't fall for their phishing attempts.
Vabby and 419 scams.
Yeah.
And yeah, the important thing is she even says, make sure if you are getting mail like this, it's from, a Guild Wars 2 team or from ArenaNet. I think it's at the bottom when you get mail, it says, if it's from anyone else, this is not a, employee of ArenaNet or something along those lines. So and usually I think even in the header when it's from someone, it will usually have the little ArenaNet, logo tag, I think, on it as well. So definitely look for those signs.
Where, we will never ask for your password. We will never ask for login information. Don't give any of that stuff out ever. If they give you a web address, don't go to it.
Yeah. Generally, that just doesn't go for games like Guild Wars 2. This goes for everything, really.
Yeah. Every once in a while, in one of my old emails that's really bad, I get a message like, "You want a big prize? Come claim it now." And it's like, I didn't win anything. Bunch of liars.
Yeah.
There was actually there's one that's going around from cell phone numbers in America. That's Credit Card Services of America. And press 1 and we'll help you lower your credit rate. And it's like I pressed 1 once and I'm like, which credit card? And they're like, all of them. That That was years ago.
Anything you have.
So the really funny thing is, I pressed 1 to talk to a person, and I get an Indian man, and I have nothing against India. They just have kind of a business environment that has a lot of these shady call centers being outsourced to there, which
Very
sucks.
noisy in the background.
Yeah. But the first thing that he said, he started going to a spiel, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to be put on your do not call list. And then he flubbed hanging up the phone, and I could hear him swearing in Hindi at me. So,
Interesting.
and Iceland, I haven't seen any gold spammers lately. Although now that I say that, the next time I log into the game, I'm going to get like 6. But
Once in a while.
there's
seen
times where they just have these big bursts of them, and then they go away for a while. So
Believe it or not, I get a lot of them in the PvP lobby. When I enter the PvP lobby, for whatever reason, they're able to, I guess they're able to see when new people enter or whatever, and they just spam the hell out of you.
Yeah, and a good rule of thumb in general, like she also says, if you get an email or in-game mail, reach out to customer support first. I know usually when I get like an email that says, oh, update your information or something, I'll be like, okay, I'm not going to click through their link. I'll go to, the company's website and update my, basically on their, website instead of going through their handy link that isn't really. So
also, another thing for a suggestion for just as an example for why you should SMS lock anything you can. This was about 6 to 8 months ago. Valve suffered an attack through the Dota 2 website. And anybody who had a Dota 2 account, it was possible that their information was compromised. I got an email from Steam that said someone in Russia tried to log into my account. So you'll get that notification that's like, hey, an IP address in this general area of the world just tried to log into your account. Was this you? So
are you on vacation?
I would highly recommend, if you don't have the authentication on, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't have it for whatever reason, the best way is to change your password like every 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
If for some reason you can't authenticate that way.
Which I know is, and the classic ones of like, don't use the same passwords in the same areas. That's
Don't have password as your password. Don't have 1, 2, 3, 4 ABC.
So you just use that on your luggage.
Don't have sequential numbers, things like that. Don't have sequential letters on your keyboard like QWERTY, that type of
weird.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Simple things like that. Don't make it. Put symbols in there. Put numbers in there. Obviously. But
yeah, like Chad said, password manager with a random password generator. Yeah, there's even software out there that will help you create random.
A friend of mine used passages from Shakespeare. Yeah. Because the longer your password is, the harder it is for it to be brute forced.
Also, try to remember your passwords and don't put them in a text file. I know someone who does that. I'm like, dude, I
have a password manager. Because there's no way I can remember all the different passwords for everything that there's, I don't even know half the passwords for the stuff I need to log into. The manager knows.
I say weirdly, I don't have mine in a text file because if my computer somehow gets hacked, it's on there, but I literally have mine written down. Like,
oh, we know the book, guys. That's it. You can get it from Deo's house now and know all of his password.
He doesn't leave the stoop. He'll know if we're there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't leave. It goes with me.
Oh man.
But yeah, it sounds like if you can't use SMS or anything like that. I know it sounds like a hassle, but in the end, it's you want to protect your account, especially if you bought a lot of stuff from the Gemstore. Yeah.
Okay, we'll let it slide. Yeah.
And this week we did get some 2 new items from the Gemstore, and always thank you to Dolphy. Check out dolphy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. So these kind of come in they don't come in a bundle, but everybody's been showing them off together because they're thematically the same. They are the Faux Fire Mantle and the Faux Fire Wraps, which are 500 gems apiece. And the interesting thing is it kind of follows the same, if you're familiar with the Dungeon Ascalon Catacombs, the weapons there, how at nighttime they have a different effect. So do these. And actually when you preview them, you kind of get the nighttime effect, which I can show you here real quickly. It basically, the candles on the shoulder piece light up and they kind of have a glow effect to them. But yeah, here's kind of the nighttime-ish effect that you can kind of see. And the nice thing is you can dye the flame look, the candles coming off of it and stuff like that. So very versatile for that sake.
Yep.
I'm heavily considering getting the gloves.
Yeah, me too.
Those would look really good on a Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could put them on a Condi Berserker Warrior and you dye the flames red. That would work really well too.
There's like a sudden infatuation with candles, I feel like.
Carnifex actually brings up something that I was going to bring up because I have watched Brazil's video on this.
Yeah, me too.
This actually was something we were talking about in the Talking Skritt Discord server. The glow effect, and I'm not going to get into a lot of the stuff that was in the back end of Brazil's video. I'm just going to go specifically with the faux fire stuff and the glow effect on the legendary armor. There's a lot of really good glow effects that are coming out of the Gemstore, but the legendary armor, not so much. So I kind of like the glow on these things has its own channel. The glow on the legendary armor comes from a channel on the armor itself, because I think that stuff only has 3 channels on most of the gear, instead of having a 4th channel for the particle effect bits.
Right.
Now, I do understand one of the things where it was a design, like this was actually something Deo was doing his best at devil's advocate, like he usually does, that it was a design choice in the discussion, and he's not, I believe you, what were your words, Deo? It was a design choice. I don't want to say it was a good design choice, but it was a design choice.
Yeah, I mean, because we talked about legendary armor. Medium I wasn't a huge fan on. I was okay with the heavy, and like the light I was okay with as well. Like, but in a game where it's Fashion Wars, I don't. People call it the legendary armor just because that's the only way you can get legendary armor. The look is subjective. You can't really say, like, you're never going to please everybody, unfortunately. But
right.
I honestly thought that they should have made that transformation armor, the raid armor, and like some kind of legendary journey to, make legendary armor that could have been, using all aspects of the game. But no, they had to kind of plop it into raids. But that's, going down a whole different rabbit hole of. But yeah, I mean, to go back to
what Jim was for
yeah.
medium legendary armor, and I just assume the others are all the same. Everything except shoulders is 3 dye channels, and the shoulders are 2 dye channels. I just think that that's ridiculous when you have Gemstore armor pieces with 4 slots, with 4 color slots. Do you know what I mean? I don't see why, you can say, oh, it's a design choice. Sure, they did. That is a design choice. They made that choice. And obviously a lot of people will think that that's a poor design choice, especially when you sort of go out of your way for outfits and these armor pieces to have 4 dye slots, and that you're able to dye the glows and stuff. I mean, there are outfits and armor pieces now that look better than most of the armor in the game. And I understand that you need to sell these, right? The whole point of the Gemstore is to make money, to fund the game, to have players buy these things. But I've always sort of said that there should be some level of, add a certain amount of awesomeness to the Gemstore because you want people to buy that stuff. You need to make money, but you need to put some of it in the game. And when they finally do add stuff to the game, legendary armor, some might arguably say the ultimate goal for legendaries currently, and then you just sort of skimp out on some of the features of it, like die channels, for example, as just one piece or one point.
I'm gonna get it. No, I better not say much, but I will say that I never realized about the glow for medium gear because I don't have it, but I didn't notice that the glow didn't change, and I thought it did. So I was a little bit surprised by that. So
it's a very muted effect too. You really maybe on. Well, I play in Asura, so most of the time you don't get to see anything anyway, which is my own fault. Not really ArenaNets necessarily. I chose a small race, but I think it's a little more apparent on like a Norn, for example.
Yeah, I have a question. The glow effect, like let's say the dragon on your shoulder, does the eyes and the inner of the mouth, you could change that color, right?
No.
What?
Very barely.
No. It doesn't affect the color at all.
Oh, it doesn't affect the color at all. Okay, because I remember most
color
of
the skull, but the actual glow is this like whitish purpley kind of glow.
Because I do remember all the examples for the light armor that Brazil was going is all the white crystals just very barely change color.
Right.
It is incredibly muted and washed out. But
which
this
like,
is
yeah. While I was playing Devil's Advocate on our Discord thing and talking about that, like, does Inks, you might know better than I, or maybe Age, like, does Brazil run at max settings? Like,
yeah, his computer is way better than mine is. So
okay, because that was one thing I was considering, because I've heard some things this past week, people saying, "Oh, they removed the skeleton out of the ship in the crash ship in the guild hall," and someone's like, "No, you're not playing on max settings." Like, apparently that removes it for clutter. So that was one thing I was considering could have been a possibility, but if that's the case, then we're back to square one of why you do this, ArenaNet.
My only thing is, and I hate to sort of argue this point with these armor pieces here, is that they seem too expensive to me. But that's not out of the norm for ArenaNet. It's pretty normal, unfortunately, that they seem to have this strategy of increasing the price. And I'm not just saying because of inflation or something, but they seem to constantly test the borders and boundaries of what you're willing to pay for something. Personally, 500 gems for a single piece of armor is too expensive. I will not. It's awesome looking. I think they did a great job with these two armor pieces. I love the idea. I'd love a whole armor set of Ascalonian Catacombs armor. This is better than the dungeon armor and more thematic than the dungeon armor that you actually get. But regardless of that, 500 gems a piece for a two-piece set. I mean, the Lawless set, which of course isn't as cool looking, it doesn't have special effects, is 300 gems a piece for 3 pieces. It's 900 versus 1,000 for 2. I don't know. They have to adjust the prices for those who buy them with gold, do they? I mean, that's a system they created. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, that was my solution to it.
Is the argument that let's just make it more and more expensive each time because we have to account for people who have gold? I mean, that just means that I'm less and less likely to spend money on your game and just farm the gold and eventually buy it myself.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was my solution for it.
That's what you're driving me to do as a customer.
Yeah, my solution for it was 500 gems. I felt was too expensive. I had gold. I transferred over. I bought maybe like half and half, because honestly, that is a huge deterrent of, and I know why, because I dealt with Microsoft when they had their point system. But 500 gems or 1,000 gems if you wanted both, you get that 800 gems you can get in an increment of $10, you know, US. There is no like $15 amount. Like you have to literally get $20 amount. So you're basically getting 1,600 gems. It's like you're really screwing me over that 200 gems. Like really, like you're making it less, at least for me, less likely to.
It's buying something with like that, and you have currency left over. Apparently, there is a psychological study done in marketing where you want to return to zero. You want to spend the currency that you purchased. So having a non-zero value will make you want to spend money,
Right.
spend currency.
Yeah, absolutely,
So,
it works too.
That's why every time I always spend all my gems, no matter what. Like I have to do that, and it's not a psychological thing. It's just something I do. It's like I will no, you will not trick me.
I mean, I don't bother with it. I just, if I have 100 gems left over, it just sits there until I want to buy something else. But
I'll either.
yeah, it's absolutely something they do. Not just Guild Wars 2. Lots of games do it where they oddly price it so that you have to buy 2 packs of something instead of 1.
Yeah.
So on.
I either buy like a bank access thing or just convert it to gold in the end.
That's another thing too. Like Quo is saying, like the GVG transfers. Even before I was a partner and stuff, I refuse. I did it in World of Warcraft, and I did it one time, and I will never ever do it again in another game. I will not pay for a transfer. I won't do it. I did it once in WoW. It cost me like $25 or $30. Whatever the hell it cost in that game.
Yeah, you picked the wrong game to break down on that one, like because that's per character.
Yeah, and
That's
I will never
character?
ever. Yeah, I will never ever do it again. And I've never transferred in Guild Wars 2, so I don't know how bad the costs are. But that one experience in World of Warcraft, probably 6 years ago, 7 or 8, actually more than that now. Jeez, more than a decade ago. I will never ever pay for a transfer again. I just won't transfer. I refuse.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. And I know it's expensive in Guild Wars 2. I know it adds up because I know people who do transfer and who do, you know, for World vs. World and stuff, they get entire guilds to do it. I know it's not cheap. 1,800, 1,500, yeah.
That's a lot of money.
$25 per week. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I wouldn't do it. And I know why those players do it. They're looking for fights, right? They're looking for opponents to play against. But I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in, and I would not pay it.
Extensive games.
You guys probably haven't seen expensive games. I mean, I guess video game wise, maybe not. I mean, I've certainly have had hobbies. Warhammer 40K or Warhammer in general is not a cheap hobby.
Stop.
Isn't that coming out soon? Anyone?
I'm talking about the actual models.
The tabletop.
Oh,
The actual
tabletop.
yeah. That would.
I mean, I used to paintball every single week. So, I mean, not a cheap hobby, you know, and I get it. So as far as particular hobbies and stuff like that, sure, Guild Wars 2 is super cheap, but you know, that doesn't change my mind on how I think some of these things are priced and such. But they got to make money. They're a company. I understand it. I just won't buy it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like Ink's made his decision on the faux fire wraps and mantle. Are you guys going to be picking either of them up, one or the other, both? Have you?
I might. I stress might get the gauntlets, mostly because I think the candle shoulders are dumb.
I might get the gloves too. I'm not too keen on the shoulder. I wasn't too keen on the shoulders. I didn't even notice the candles, but yeah, I might get the gloves.
I should have grabbed a screenshot of my Necro because he's like a white angel type thing with his like Reaper hood and wings and stuff. Which kind of goes with that. That's why I like this like almost like, you know, archangel type thing. So I actually picked up both, but like I said before, I kind of, used gold to gems and kind of alleviate that because, yeah, once you hit over that 800 mark, you're really making it a hard sell. Because
I will say this for it. I'd like to, and I'm sure somebody will do it, but I'm kind of interested to see a screenshot of people who do themes around either the candelabra staff or the new legendary torch, candle cake torch.
Oh yeah.
Since candles seem to be becoming like a popular theme as of late, be kind of interesting.
So yeah, definitely pick those up if you're interested. Returning items: the Phalanx heavy armor skin, the Trickster light armor skin, Vipers medium armor skin, Mist Herald back item skin set. The Zodiac heavy armor, medium and light armor are all 800 gems each. You can also get the Harbinger of Mordramoth outfit for 700 gems, the Fuzzy Bear hat for 200, Bram's Wolfblood pauldrons for 300, the Captain's Airship Pass, which is the permanent one, the Royal Terrorist Pass, which is the permanent one for 1,000 gems apiece, and the Solar and Lunar die kits for 125 gems for 1, 5 for 500, 25 for 2,500 gems. And remember, as always, those aren't guaranteed. You can possibly get the unique ones from a pool of generic ones. I always feel like we have to say that. But would you recommend any of those? Like
Phalanx.
Mm-hmm.
The Phalanx heavy armor is amazing. It's one of the few, the chest piece is one of the few heavies that actually has a high neck and actually has a gorget piece on the chest plate up front. So it actually is protecting of your neck, unlike a lot of the chest plates that, someone could just get a good swing in and lop your head right off.
I definitely would say Phalanx.
And that whole set of armor is cheaper than 2 pieces of the new stuff.
Wow.
But it doesn't glow at night. If it gets dark out, my character's scared of the dark. When I have those mantles on, I'm fine. I will play the full.
Intricate. It doesn't glow, but it's a fairly well designed piece, graphically speaking. So I highly recommend Phalanx. I'm pretty sure both my Guardian and my Warrior use pieces of it. My Revenant just doesn't fit for what I'm trying to do with them. So
I recommend Vipers. I like Vipers set. It's pretty decent. I like the coat piece in particular, and the gloves because of the left, I believe it was, because it has like this guard with a snake on it. It's pretty cool. And the Zodiac if you want to be blue.
Also, it seems like just came in while we were doing the show. Apparently, over this next week, they're removing even more stuff, which I'll try to read off for you real quick. And if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have the link down below, and we can throw it in chat real quick while I read these off. But apparently, Monday, June 19th, we'll be leaving the... next week at... Yeah, okay, so the glowing green mask will be 30% off from June 17th to 18th. Tuesday, the Mask of the Crown, Aviator Cap, and Primordius die kits are going to be going away on Tuesday. Wednesday, the Inventor's sunglasses and reading glasses on the 21st. Lawless boots, gloves, shoulders, and helmet, which we were kind of talking about earlier, is going away on the 22nd. See, Inks, they are listening to you. They're like, fine, if you don't want any of this, we're taking it all away.
I already have it.
The Mask of the Silent and the Mask of the Wanderer is going away on the 23rd. The Dragon Mask skin and the Lion Mask skin are going away June 24th. And the Crystal Arbiter Appearance Pack and Lord Farron's Reaper are going away on the 25th. So definitely pick those up. So.
Ooh, glowing green mask is on sale now then. So
I'm hoping the glowing green mask is gone. They'll bring back Glint's Gaze because I've been waiting to get that for my Guardian for a year.
Wow.
Maybe. They got to make room.
Sort of a couple of notes. Number one, I have to say that I love the communication on these. In the past, I have definitely criticized ArenaNet on how they communicate when sales come and go. And I have to say that more recently, especially with this, but even some of the other ones that they've done, they've been a lot better especially if you follow them on Twitter, about announcing when things are coming and going. So much better job with communication there. Have to put a little feather in their cap for that one. And the other thing is the Lawless boot. If you're in Asura, the Lawless boots, which are 300 gems, they actually cover all your toes. It doesn't have the two Yoda feet sticking out the side. It's a full boot for your Asura if you care about that sort of thing.
I have a feeling you would care about that sort of thing.
Well, it's the reason I bought them is because it covers my Asura's toes. Got to protect the toes.
It's true.
So anyway.
But yeah, so definitely pick those up. And that's it for this week. Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MalthanusMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/TalkingSkrit on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our 0 to Hero PvP night. So we've been running through ranked. We just streamed, me and my friend Chev. We were doing our placement matches, and hopefully we look to keep on climbing. I'm hoping to finish the season high gold. So
awesome.
Nice.
That's good. Age, where can they find you?
Twitch and YouTube at Age Night Earth. I just plan to have fun World versus World, and I'll play PvP, but I don't know when. I will just play it when I feel like it, or if Jebro needs to be carried. So.
Oh snap!
You know, I make jokes. He's pretty.
Nah,
he's
that
pretty
sounds
good.
serious. I think we're getting that free for all brawl. I hear a rumble in the new little free for all arena thing. There we go.
If Dale wants to like come in PvP, you know, like in the brawling arena, I'd be more than happy.
Oh jeez, I don't want to carry you. Anyway, and Inks, where can they find you?
You guys can find me Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. This last week has been really slow, so once I get some stuff sorted out, a lot of videos to make yet, a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'll see you guys there.
Awesome. And you can find me at simply_day on Twitch and Twitter. And hopefully this week, I think Master X Master comes out, which might want to try Ritlock on there.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
Exactly. I think that comes out Wednesday, so I'm going to try to do a stream at least for that. But yeah, if you're popping at the very end, if you're watching live, stick around. We do an after show, but if you do want to watch the show, it does go up on our YouTube channel. Just search Talking Skritt. It's usually the first one that pops up. That goes up Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And also thank you. Oh boy, now it's starting to get tougher. Thank you everybody for the host. If I butcher these names, I do apologize. Jaibu, that Chevron, Serene Virus. Oh boy, it's moving around. A Set Gebnut, I hope I'm saying that right. Mighty Teapot, Sundora. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. It keeps moving around. But as always, we'll see everybody next week, and we'll see you in the game. Good night, everybody.